Hi there. I'm David Pixley from the Muzzle Mastering. I wanted to do a stream while I'm working on this weird experiment lately. But I wanted to do a quick stream because one of the dudes from Gear Sluts, I forget his screen name, he had asked me to show some comparisons between limiters, different limiters and clippers, and he wanted me to show some examples of some of my mastering chains, and one of the videos that I put up, I think like 10 months ago, was a pretty bad example of what my normal mastering would be. In fact, I think it got so weird because of CPU issues, and I started to look for things that could get the job done without without so much CPU being taken up. But let me just save this Reaper, and then I have a project that, let me see here. I'm kind of new to Reaper, so you'll have to bear with me on that. I'm also sleep deprived and scatterbrained right now, so this probably is not a great representation of my work again, but at least it is something. See if I can find this. Wait, it didn't. I thought I backed everything up. Well, that sucks. I just assumed that I just recently updated Reaper, and oh, okay, it's in this directory. Should be anyway. What did I call? It looks like I had to render at some point, and then I went to a second stage because my CPU limitations. And then so I believe I set the limiter on this one, and then I went back to here so that I could render it as, without rendering twice. Because it's only during the playback that the CPU maxes out, but the rendering works fine. So I basically opened this, set my limiter, and then brought that limiter settings into here. So I think I have pretty bad memory, so I don't even remember what I used for this, but I remember that it was at least somewhat successful mastering result. So this material is hip hop. It's actually gospel hip hop, which is rare. Oh, and this. What? Like my Reaper is crashing. I apologize, I should have loaded this project up before starting streaming. I just keep putting it off, so I just decided if I just hit the stream now button, that at least I'll do something. And then if whatever I'm doing is not a good representation, then I'll just delete the video later. But I kind of had to take a break from focusing on mastering for a little while. Oh, it's not able to load the file because it's from the older version of Reaper. That's whack. Should be able to load the. Maybe it'll load this time. And also, I realized that I should have shown you the first stage of the mastering before I rendered, and then came to this project and just dialed in the limiter to bring that back to the first one and render. Hopefully this works now. I wonder what my CPU is at. I desperately need a new computer. Oh, the CPU is at 80% already. 60, 40, 50, 50%. Just trying to open Reaper. I already like dialed down my desktop settings to low. If I end up stopping the stream because it's raining, then you should understand, but I'm out here because I smoke, and the rules in the house are don't smoke. But I do, when I do my mastering, I do go into the studio monitors, and I do the headphones on and off, speakers on and off. So yeah, that last video that I posted was, people were laughing because it really wasn't a I was just trying to show something, and they assumed that I was like showing what I do when I'm actually doing my work. Problem is I can't really do my work when I'm streaming because the CPU gets taxed. Okay, I updated this. So for this material, I did slam it pretty loud into the loudness wars, but not too bad. It is hip hop. And it's been a while since I did it, and I still have to render the SoundCloud mastering for the artist. Oh, by the way, the artist of this track is MNNI417, and he's really talented, and I did this for free, and so he's letting me do streaming with it, and he hasn't released it yet too. So for the Gear Sluts community, I'm going to put this song up on a web server, so that I think it was Hermitech Mastering. He suggested that we like put up a song, and then like more than one of us do testing with this limiter versus this one, this clipper versus this one. And then I wanted to make it more complex, like this limiter plus this clipper versus these three. You know what I mean? And he was like, no, we got to make it simple. So it'll probably end up being somewhere in between. But so I do want to be helpful wherever I can. I know a lot of those guys over there don't agree with a lot of the things that I say. And a lot of the stuff I do, you know, when I do my mastering, I admit maybe I'm trying to push it to the wall of like I want to do the most processing I can without crossing the line of, you know, once you cross it, then it's like, whoa, that's way too much coloring and it ruins it. So just the fact that I'm trying to get to that line pretty much determines that, you know, chances are I'm going to cross that line quite often. So I'm kind of starting to, you know, form the opinion that's closer to what your standard mastering engineer would normally do, which is, you know, maybe 6 or 7 plugins and do the same thing every time. Or not the same thing every time, but have your like standard plugins that you go to, and then probably the only one that you would have, like, I want to have like 20 different harmonic exciters or saturators or distortions or whatever. Like have my main like 2 or 3 that are my go-tos, and if they don't sound great, then like try all these other ones. But anyway, so for this track, oh wow, my resolution is so low that you can't even see the dang plugin. That's whack. Maybe I can stream my other monitor. Let's see, I go to display capture. Okay, let me just press play on the track.
Music was made for Jesus and we gon' bring it. Worship him, you're a genius and never suffer. We don't bump none believers cause we ain't down with that. We know that God can see us. Wanna please him, gotta please him. Stay on the straight and narrow, dog. We call that crossroad. Right next to the king, that means it's boss mode. I'm on this arc till the Ravens back, yes sir, that's.
Bear with me for a moment. I am troubleshooting my OBS. I just accidentally removed the wrong output capture, audio output capture. I need to change this to speakers. Okay, I need to dial that down. That was way loud.
Music was made for Jesus and we gon' bring it. Worship him, you're a genius and never suffer.
Okay, then I'm going to switch my monitor order. I'm going to have to set this up in an organized manner later. I'm still kind of working out the OBS stuff. Wait, what's going on here? So video capture, audio capture, display capture, okay. So this was the first time that I used DMG Audio Limitless, and I'm really impressed with it. However, it took me way too long to dial in, but you know, I maybe spent 20, maybe 30 or 40 hours kind of learning it, and it's got a lot of capabilities. But instead of showing you this, because you probably already know this limiter, and I don't really have anything set up to do A/B tests, but I'll come back to this one later and add different limiters and clippers and try to do some A/B tests. Maybe not during this stream. I am going to get back to my uLaw, my Airwindows uLaw experiment. That's why the title of the video is that. I just wanted to do this real fast because that dude at Gearsluts asked for it. I'm still not used to OBS when I see like the other monitor and it's showing me. I'll go and click on it and be like, oh wait a second, that's the monitor that has OBS. And the fact that I just keep switching them back and forth a few times to kind of get my neck moving differently. But also, since I lowered the resolution of this one, you couldn't see those plugins. I lowered the resolution because my CPU was just out of control. It wasn't working at all. I have this gate set up because I'm outside, so I don't want to pick up noise from the neighbors and stuff. But let me know if my mic isn't working. Oh, actually, if you're viewing on Twitch, I had to put my other laptop inside because it's kind of raining a little bit, and I don't feel like streaming from inside because I have to chain smoke. So hopefully I'll be able to somewhat successfully show you guys one of my recent mastering chains. I probably won't be able to I probably won't be able to have the whole chain activated. I'm sure it will cap out my CPU. Because just streaming with Reaper open and OBS open, my CPU is already at 50%. And most of the time my mastering will push it to like 60 to 80%, so at least I can try to do like a pretty quick run through of, okay, so this was, so I got it to minus 9.4 LUFS. That's for the club master, which I'm going to make the SoundCloud master the same. Probably, which means I'll have to do another dB of limiting because I'm going to have to lower the ceiling for the SoundCloud master. Next time I should do these streams like while the project is fresh in my head, like right after I did it, because I'm looking at it and I'm like, where did I start? What do I do now to show it? Okay, so this was the original. That's rendered first stage. Okay. And this was, I'm guessing this is the one that has the limiter on it. Oh no, this is, just opening up my freaking FX chain. I suspect that ozone maximizer is on this because lately when I open it, it just like freezes for like 10 minutes when I'm streaming. So I'm gonna have to troubleshoot that. Okay, so that had no effects on it. That would be as expected. So I'll play you the track with no effects on first. Let me just make sure the master channel is. I think it might be a good idea to go ahead and add a Voxengo span while I'm thinking that it'd be nice to have a visual representation. I updated Insight, so I have to. All my older projects had the older Insight. For some reason, Ozone won't automatically like look at the new one and load it. So I have to figure that out within Reaper as well. I'm sure there's some kind of setting that I'm getting wrong. So I was opening span. Okay. I wonder what the difference between span and span plus is. Those Voxengo elephant, or I mean the elephant is a good limiter. The Voxengo plugins in general are pretty nice. I'm like, for some reason they've always been a little unappealing to me. Although I did use the transient designer a lot. I really liked that one. Pretty much anything that I've given a chance for Voxengo, I start to like them more and more as I use them more. Guess I'll go with span plus. Um, I'm kind of confused because I'm looking at this monitor and before I had them the other order. I'm like dyslexic on top of that. So some of the people at Gearslut saw my last video and then posted it on there and laughed and made funny comments, and really doesn't bother me that much. I can laugh at myself too, but at least if I wasn't, even if I wasn't informative at all, which is what I think I was trying to do, at least I entertained some people. And I took my shirt off because it was summer and hot and I smoke, and they were laughing. But actually the truth is the reason why I took my shirt off is because that dude who posted about it, yeah, his mom paid me on Patreon. She sent an extra chunk of money. She was like, I'm watching your stream. When you take your shirt off? So yeah, if you're that dude, and you're gonna make a funny post, then I'll just take my shirt off right now because, oh shit, your mom's hitting me up. Okay. Wait. I'm still confused about this. Okay, so you're getting this. So I should just stop looking at this. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and close that for now. So let's look and see what was in my brain when I did this mastering job. Oh, this one was a freebie, but he's an old friend of mine, and I really like his rap. I kind of grew up on hip hop, and so I'm not a hater. It's not like what I would listen to, like in my own personal time. I would listen to something more like, well, a bunch of different stuff, but Aphex Twin. You know, I forgot because I pretty much stopped listening to Pandora radio, but I had 100 stations. I stopped listening to commercial music, period. Even the radio. I was listening to the radio for a long time to try to get my own sound, as bad as it is, like up to that standard. Okay, for some reason I was using JBridge, this Oxford. Oh yeah, that's right. I only have the 32-bit. Oh, but you know what? Reaper has a built-in bridging, and I think I fixed that earlier. So let me see. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure the Reaper bridge, the built-in bridge, works better than the JBridge. In fact, that's clear evidence. I double-clicked on this, and it's like it's hung up. Okay, so I just want to match these. Oh, wow, I used a lot of it. Normally I would use like less than half of that amount. So I must have been in a mood of wanting to do more than is necessary. I'll probably end up dialing that down. And I think what the thing was I was trying to push the loudness. And so I used inflator, even though I just made a post today that I don't use the inflator to push the loudness. I use it for coloring. And then I go back to one of my, I think I did this mastering job maybe 3 months ago. But it got a lot better since that video that I did back when I was using Ableton. Even though I'm still a total noob on Reaper, I'm still kind of just like stumbling around and being like, oh, I don't recognize it. So I can remove this JBridge. I could compare them, but I'll do that later. Let me go ahead and save this as resave. And go back later and probably what I should do for you guys is go ahead and turn everything off. Well, now I'm starting to think, what did I do? Like the first thing I did was probably similar to what I showed you in my last video. I went to Ozone, I ran the mastering assistant to get its initial suggestion, Then I listened to it, and I looked at ozone insight, and I looked at ozone tonal balance, and then why is that not working? Oh, yeah, it's lagging. I think there might be an issue with my Reaper. I just clicked to turn that off, and I don't know what the problem is. My CPU is at 65%, yet Reaper is freezing. Oh, I forgot. If you guys have comments, leave them on the YouTube, and I will check. I can't check Twitch right now because I put my other laptop away. So I can view the comments on YouTube every once in a while. And I do not have any viewers. That's all good. I'm fine. If somebody's viewing on Twitch, I apologize if you have left comments, because I'm not going to be able to read them. For some reason, Twitch doesn't let me view from my phone. Twitch app on my phone doesn't work. Why is this freaking frozen? Something is wrong. Ah. And my mouse has been acting up too. I just need a new computer. This is a 2010 Windows gaming laptop. And it was a powerhouse back in 2010, but now it's not quite a piece of trash, but OBS freaking kills it. Maybe I'll just need to restart Reaper. It's hard to piss me off. It might be because I used the internal bit bridge, but I don't think so. Okay, so when I first played his track back, I found that the true peaks at one spot was hitting over 0, or it actually hit over 0 dB true peak a few times, and one peak was like way higher. It was like plus 2.5 or something. So the first thing I did was I put bit shift gain and I lowered it by 6 dB. Seems like it's not lagging anymore. So I'll go ahead and play the clean track.
Narrow doors, we call that crossroad. Right next It's to the king, that means it's boss mode. I'm on this art to the Ravens back, yes sir, that's Glocko. If you ain't saving, you didn't get that. It was hot though. We move with the single intention, promoting restoration. Descend on blocks and get mission to nothing's left for saints and making introductions or instructions from the spirit of the Son of God, not the Sun God. Ancient of days before the pyramid. Men of these demon releases want to teach you who Jesus is. They even want me to agree with the thesis and plead the fifth. I couldn't do it if I tried. The litigation.
So that's the gist of the track, and apparently there's some feedback going on with my OBS. I'm going to close Reaper. That doesn't make sense. Oh, you know what? I should make sure that my Windows frequency rate is the same as that project. I don't think that was the issue there, but here. So it was feeding back into OBS. I was doing something different with my OBS earlier, so it might have changed some settings somewhere. You know what I should probably try to do is scale my monitor back up. But opening Reaper, it's like 90% CPU. I probably won't be able to play the audio for you through the mastering thing, but at least I can show you A/B comparisons of before and after the processing. And I can go to each stage, to each plugin, and show you what I did. Bear with me, I'm waiting for Reaper to open. Gotta be a way to get it to not scan for plugins every time it opens. Well, actually, I think it's just like loading the plugins that are in the project. I must have had too many plugins going on. $1280 by 720. I might want to restart this stream, and seems like I'm troubleshooting OBS again. I think the issue is I can't really focus when I'm talking. So if I just shut up, I could probably show you a lot more. I'm just bringing my desktop back to where it was. Then I have to cross my fingers and hope that Reaper doesn't freak out. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and stop this stream now because it needs to be fixed. So I'll be back as soon as I can. See you guys in a bit if anybody's watching.